Hello! Yes, I'm still alive. Don't worry. as of the date that I'm filming this is the 10th of January 2026. Happy New Year 2026, guys. How? Last month was June. I don't understand. If you notice that my voice sounds a bit weird, it's because currently I have a cold, which is not letting me go. It's been kinda hanging off for dear life for 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm trying to not sound like I am a huge nose and I talk through it, you know? I'm also dealing overall with some heavy health related stuff, but my doctor told me to try to do enjoyable things and to try to live life as normal as possible. So while I deal with that, might as well come back to my poor abandoned channel, which is an enjoyable hobby of mine. So welcome back everybody. Welcome to Tiny Bunny episode 3. I more or less remember where we left it from editing the episode on, and the wolf's great fur will stand. Ominous, okay. Oh, okay, I remember. The stupid idiot bully disappeared last episode. Kids, he's the one who hated Baburin. You think he did it? I've heard he's a weirdo. The worm farewells Romka and Biasha shouted at the back of fleeing Semyon echoed inside my head.
Горло тебе перережу, слышишь?
I'll cut your throat, you hear?
Свинья!
Porky! Was Romka serious about his threats? Oh. Would he chase his former friend deep into the forest and then what? Kill him just like that? No, that can't be right. I hurriedly rubbed my glasses. For good luck! The glasses! Semyon was clutching them with his fists while trying to escape the barrage of kicks and slaps from his friends. Former friends by now. And in just a couple of hours, this lost item was lying on the ledge of my window. It was hard to imagine Sioma suddenly got guilty conscious and returned my glasses in such a strange way. I was shocked but kept walking towards the classroom, accompanied by nasty whispers all around me. Do they think I did it? How? I'm like, what? How old was I? Like 12 or something? 13? That photo still stood before my eyes. Semyon had gone missing. Semyon is gone. Oh, good riddance. His fat fingers will never get to my throat. His signet ring would mass into my chin. He'll never humiliate me again. I don't feel... I'm sorry guys, I may be a bit cruel, but... Fuck them kids. Wasn't that what I wished for? On the other hand, did I really wish Semyon to become a murky stain on the notice board? He was still someone's son or grandson, and he went through the same struggles as me. Yeah, but you're not a piece of shit dickhead, you know? Did I really wish for my unseen companion to dispatch him in such a brutal fashion? I didn't know the answer. Or I was just scared of it. Nonetheless, school still had something nice about it. Oh, Polina! Polina, the girl with a violin, was like a mountain spring. Like well water that you gulp down, pressing your lips against the sink outer ring of a bucket and can't ever get enough. What if I make her one of the characters in the story I'll draw? The protagonist will save her from terrifying monsters. And you'll be the protagonist, right? As soon as I thought of monsters, a bunch of my classmates slid down the rails, smirking like the xenomorphs from the Alien. I immediately felt larvae of fear writhe in my stomach. I didn't want to cross paths with Romka and Biasha after what happened yesterday, especially since Semyon suddenly went missing. Uh-oh. Oh, this girl is the asshole. I entered the classroom and went towards the last row. All of the chatter suddenly died down, so I walked there in complete silence. I felt like my classmates pushed me and poked me with their stares. They carefully observed my every move. I stared at the desk with a huge pile of library textbooks on top, my fist clenched. It felt like I was the one who disappeared in the snowy forest and my desk was finally used for something worthwhile. Semyon's empty chair stood in front of me, the chair that once belonged to Boba gathered dust somewhere in another classroom. I mean, yeah, sit down, dude. After a moment of hesitation, I sat down at Baburin's desk, the place where I was supposed to be assigned by Lilia Pavlovna at first. The chatter resumed as if someone just unpaused the movie.
Бабушка Бабурина такой кипиш устроила, когда он домой не явился.
Oh, shut up. Katya. Baburin's grandma made such a fuss when he didn't return home.
Сначала в школу прибежала, потом ментов вызвала.
I saw to dump her head in a bucket and slap the bucket with a wooden spoon, you know? First she ran to the school, then called the cops.
Да-да-да.
Yes. Da. Katya snuck a cunning glance at me, then leaned into her neighbors and whispered something. Girls from the second row also leaned in. She shared something with them too, whispers, nods. I kept catching her stare on myself, her neighbors stared too. The whole class was watching me. It was like they felt the need to watch me because they were searching for traces of blood on my fingers. Blood? You were a kid! I wanted to defend myself and shout, "Guys, listen, I'm innocent." Romka gave me a heavy, worried look. He was probably as stunned by Semyon's disappearance as everybody else. But then he directed his stare straight at my face. It felt like he was about to point a finger at me and shout at the top of his lungs, "Everyone look! Baburin snatched his glasses yesterday, and now he has them back. Murderer!" But he remained silent as if there was nothing special at all about my glasses. I may be going mad, but I think Romka knows something. He knows something, but he won't tell me what. But it was also possible that he didn't care at all, just like everyone else. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this guy. Then Romka shifted his eyebrows in suspicion and stared at Katya, as if informing her that he didn't believe a word she said. I wanted to believe that Romka would take my side. And Biasha, who sat sprawling his chair with his chin pressed against the table too. But they were silent. A terrifying thought flashed in my mind. Those two could easily betray me, push me off the cliff. Just like they did with Semyon. That's kinda true. They have a really weird code of honor. As if looking for protection, I clutched the ruler until my hand hurt.
Не надо быть Коломбо, чтобы догадаться.
You don't have to be Colombo to solve this. No, Columbo. Columbo? Glossary. Who the fuck is that? An American crime drama television starring Peter Falk as Columbo, a homicide detective with Los Angeles Police Department. What are you saying, you little brat?
Кто на Бабурина зуб имел?
Who held a grudge against Baburin? I'm sorry, she annoys me so much.
Кто его вчера ударил? Поиздевался, а после...
Who hit him yesterday? Bullied him and then... The metal ruler fell off my weak fingers. It hit the floor with a jiggle and that made the other kids shudder. Katya bit her tongue and squirmed nervously. Chairs scraped against the floor. My classmates moved away from me, closer to the exit towards the teacher's desk. I was not the only one to catch wind of that change. Romka and Biasha looked around and winced in contempt. It's good that they were clearly on my side.
Да прикуси ты!
Shut it.
Бабурин, небось, с бабкой посрался и дымился.
I betcha Baburin got a whipping from his whole hag and ran off.
Скоро найдется.
They'll find him soon.
Найдется, ага.
They'll find him alright.
Во враге, со вспоротым брюхом.
In a ravine with his stomach cut open. Oh my god. I gulped. Oh. I imagine Sioma on a snowy blanket, his face white like a fish belly, split down the middle by the crevice of his mouth, snowflakes falling on his glassy eyes and filling up his throat. Ugh, what a beautiful sight! Oh, why did you imagine that? See, I could almost hear in his condescending tone, it's all your fault. Of course, Semyon did me a favor by disappearing. Thanks to him, my classmates now stare at me in awe. But that was only one side of the coin. What if I have to repay that favor soon? The door creaked. Paulina entered the classroom. I straightened up in a hurry so she wouldn't see me looking like a scared critter. Paulina found me with her eyes, gave me a short nod, and went to her seat. Katya rushed to her neighbors again like a lab rat that saw a treat and started whispering, switching her gaze between me and Paulina. Messages on pieces of paper started jumping around the classroom. The ringer's thrill announced the start of the class.
Так, заканчиваем бардак. Дети, встаньте.
Alright, stop messing around. Class, stand up.
Петров, тебя это тоже касается?
You too, Petrov. Lilia Pavlovna went to her desk, followed by a policeman in a uniform. Uh-oh. It was the man that visited us just recently, tall, and his stare so sharp you could get caught on it.
Здрасте.
Hello there, kids.
Здравствуйте!
Hi.
Садитесь.
You can sit now. You can sit down, kids.
Познакомьтесь. Это старший лейтенант Константин Владимирович Тихонов.
This is Senior Lieutenant Konstantin Vladimirovich Tikhonov. I think I've absolutely butchered that.
Он задаст вам несколько вопросов и проведет небольшую лекцию по безопасности.
He's going to ask you a couple of questions and give you a small PSA.
Лучше лекция от милиционера, чем уроки.
Oh. The class livened up. Talking to a policeman was way better than studying. I, on the other hand, was ready to sit through hundreds of hours of Russian literature just to escape the lieutenant's oppressive stare. Oh god. Oh my god. His brown eyes felt around the classroom looking for me. His hair stood on the back of my neck and an icicle had lodged in my gut.
А правда, что Бабурина маньяк убил?
Is it true that Baburi got killed by a serial killer?
Екатерина, ну-ка цыц. Вопросы здесь взрослые задают.
Look at his face. Shush, Ekaterina. Let the adults ask the questions here. Yeah, shush forever, actually.
Просто нам всем страшно.
We're all scared.
Может, убийца бродит где-то рядом.
Maybe the killer is somewhere close.
Или сидит у нас за спиной.
Maybe they're even sitting among us. Her sly stare was directed at me. Yeah, no shit. Fuck you. Tikhonov stepped in between the rows of desks and started walking at an excruciatingly slow pace, brushing his fingers against the chairs he passed by. Some of the students almost broke their necks following his movements. That's how a crowd of commoners would gleefully anticipate a public execution in the Middle Ages. Huh? Oh no. And he just walked, getting closer and closer to me. I gritted my teeth to stop myself from screaming. Calm down, breathe. You didn't kill or kidnap anyone. Oh no! He already knew the answer to his questions, but the policeman still asked me in a stern voice.
Петров Антон?
Anton Petrov?
Да.
Yeah.
Встань, Петров.
Stand up, Petrov. My muscles turned to stone. I got up and glued myself from the chair. I felt like I could hear all my joints creak in the process. I only wished that Paulina wouldn't turn around and see the grimace of horror on my face. If only I could be somewhere far away in the forest, digging myself into a snow pile, rolling into a ball there. Oh my god. This poor kid must be terrified, and this man just looks... The officer stared at me as if he was about to lock a pair of handcuffs on my wrist. I wonder how cold these bracelets are to the touch. I imagine myself getting jailed and put into a juvenile detention center, where tens of Semyons would constantly harass me. Oh no.
Я ничего не знаю. Я тут ни при чем.
I don't know anything. I have nothing to do with this. Shut up! Wait until he talks!
А тебя никто и не обвиняет.
Nobody's accusing you of anything.
Пока что.
For now. I only then noticed a file that said case number, I think, on his hand. It had a grey cover made from rough carton. It flopped onto the desk like a guillotine blade that slid down on someone's neck. With a measured motion, Tikhonov opened the file, still studying me with his gaze. I caught a glimpse of documents and photos. They showed me prints on the snow. They looked like animal prints.
Ты с Семеном Бабуриным общался?
Have you talked to Semyon Baburin before?
Я знал его всего один день.
I only knew him for a day.
Все знают, Петров его ненавидел.
Everyone knows that Petrov hated him. Shut up! I turned red. You ugly bitch. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I wanted to sink my teeth into Katya's face and chew out her cheek. Nah, don't touch her. Who knows where she has been? Instead, I replied with the calmest voice I could muster.
Мы повздорили вчера.
We had a fight yesterday,
Но он первый начал.
but he started it,
Я его ударил.
so I hit him.
Сильно?
How hard did you hit him? Not hard enough.
Да нет, так.
Not that hard, I mean. I waved my hand indecisively. Tikhonov looked at my fist as if he was surprised that I managed to hit the big kid from the photo. Surprisingly, Lilia Pavlovna came to my rescue.
Бабурин проблемный подросток. С шилом кое-где.
Oh, hell yeah, Katerina, shut the fuck up. Even your own mother is offending me. Baburin is a troubled teen, a true pain in the rear.
Сам ко всем лез.
Always picking fights with the other kids. The officer replied with a meaningful nod and fished out a notebook out of the file.
Это твое?
Is this yours? I averted my gaze. It was a math notebook with my name on it. My classmates devoured me greedily with their eyes. It felt like even the writers on the portraits squinted at me in suspicion.
Мое.
Yeah?
В лесу нашли.
We found it in the forest.
Там же тракторист, что снег убирал в последний раз, видел Бабурина.
In the area where the tractor driver who was blowing snow there last saw Baburin. I started blinking in bewilderment. Romka ransacked my school bag. This notebook probably just got lost somewhere in the bushes. The lieutenant knew about the school brawl, but was he aware of the fight in the forest clearing? I had witnesses that could testify to Semyon and I walking in different directions after that. I looked towards the boy, hopeful. Romka, who sat behind Tikhonov, put a finger to his lips. And when the officer quickly turned around, he pretended to pick on his nose. I deciphered his signal. Boys like Romka would probably say something like snitches get stitches in a situation like this. I frantically fixed my glasses. Wait, Semyon took them away yesterday, but now they're...
Так что ты делал вчера в лесу, Антон?
So what were you doing in the forest yesterday, Anton?
Я в школу через лес хожу.
I go to school through the forest.
Могла выпасть легко.
It could have easily fallen out of my bag. Easily, just like me producing this half-truth.
Будь осторожнее.
Be careful out there. Before I could realize whether it was a genuine piece of advice or a veiled threat, the teacher said,
Класс. А сейчас лейтенант расскажет о правилах, которые вам необходимо соблюдать.
Class, the officer will now tell you about some rules you should follow.
Так маньяк все-таки есть.
So the killer does exist.
Пока мы ничего вам сказать не можем.
We can't make any of this public for now. Romka swayed in his chair and gave me a thumbs up. Attaboy, good job keeping your trap shut. I nodded even though I didn't feel a shred of pride from his praise. I don't like where this is going. You shouldn't shut up. After also, you wouldn't be able to tell like the truth. Like he followed me, we got into a fight. This probably fell because he ransacked my shit. You could have said that and protect your ass and shut up about them. Just saying. it would be a half-truth, but it would also put you a bit more in the clear. He was a bully, I guess. After all, he was the one who threw my notebooks and textbooks into the snow. He was the one ordering Semyon despite changing his alliance later.
Но есть преступник или нет, вы должны четко помнить о собственной безопасности.
I don't like this guy. He looks at me weird. Whether the criminal really exists or not, you should be mindful of your safety.
Вас бережет милиция. Вас опекают родители и учителя. Но в
The
первую
police, your
очередь защищать себя должны вы сами.
Sorry. The police, your parents, and your teachers will all watch over you, but no one got you better than yourself.
Итак, кто там что хотел узнать?
Alright, any questions? A stockade of arms rose from the desk.
У вас оружие с собой?
The kids shouted over each other, swarming the policeman with questions.
Охрану в школу выставят.
In an attempt to calm down that chorus, he moved towards the blackboard. The grey file was left lying in front of me. I stared at it, my breathing so racked that I might have looked like someone who just ran a 100-meter sprint. Beads of sweat rolled down my back. I looked around the classroom. My classmates were catching officers' every word. Only Ronka was saying something to Vyasha. Lilia Pavlona was staring into the window, fighting back yawns.
Объявлять комендантский час, причин пока нет. Слишком мало времени прошло с момента исчезновения вашего одноклассника.
Can I open it?
Мы все уверены, что он найдется живым и здоровым.
Oh, look, he's writing now.
Но сразу после уроков
Oh.
вы должны...
I want to open it, but I feel like in real life I wouldn't touch it because it's not mine. But I wanna. Oh. The officer finished his lecture and started searching around with his eyes. Oh, okay, so I didn't have to. Finally, he noticed the folder he left on my desk, put it silently under his arm, and went towards the blackboard without looking back.
И еще раз.
Maybe that was a test to see if I would do something. Ooh. Let me say this again.
Если вы заметите в поселке кого-то подозрительного, неважно, возле школы или на лесной тропинке, сразу сообщайте в милицию.
If you see anyone suspicious in the village, be it near the school or on the forest trail, contact the police immediately.
Телефон-то знаете?
You know our number, right? 02.
Спасибо, ребята.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls.
Спасибо, Лилия Павловна.
Thank you, Lilia Pavlona.
И это... Одноклассника вашего мы найдем.
And, we'll find your classmate. Don't. We don't need him back. Yeah, right. A thought flashed through my mind. Dig through enough ditches and maybe you'll be able to piece him together. Like Legos? What? My thoughts turned evil for some reason and I couldn't control them. I tried to switch through the lieutenant's speech about suspicious individuals. What if I saw the killer before? What if I was a hair's breadth away from them? Suspicious people, The guy around the school and the guy in the forest, that weird guy that was probably into kids. You should talk about that guy. How suspicious was the fox girl that wandered in the darkness? No. A weirdo that would appears out of nowhere and then dissolves into thin air with her riddles and rhymes. No, not her! Could she really harm the hulking Semyon? I'm not talking about her! Should I tell the officer about her? What if lives of other kids depend on this? Of the cute Ksenia and Boba too. Who's this? Wait, what if I get mocked for speaking out? What if they start whispering behind my back? Or what if even worse, they think I'm insane? Ronka gave me a stern look over the shoulder. I doubt someone like him would approve of me cooperating with the police. Katya's braids dangled nervously behind the delinquents sitting in front of me. My hand was glued to the desk.
До свидания, лейтенант.
Tigonov was saying goodbye to Lilia Pavlona. He was about to leave. It'll be too late soon. No. Don't talk about the fox girl. No way. I've had enough of humiliation. I'll keep my head down, like a bunny. Lock my fingers and zip my mouth. Quiet as a mouse, you avoided everyone's attention. Oh. The bell rang. Lilia Pavlona passed by without looking my way. Polina left after her. My classmates went silent at the same time as if someone muted the sound on a TV. They followed me with their eyes the whole time I was passing between the rows. Judgmental looks. I felt like I was in the scopes of many sniper rifles. Okay, she's leaving me alone, good. I squeezed through the barricade made of desks looking for Polina. But instead I stumbled into my new buddies. Romka and Biasha were waiting for me at the notice board.
Я в тебе не ошибся, Тошик.
I was right about you, Toshik.
Пацан, не спалил, как мы чуть было свинью не забили.
Attaboy, you didn't rat us out, you know, us roughing up Porky.
Это повело бы милицию по ложному следу.
This would have given the police a false lead,
Наверное.
I think.
А вы точно не имеете отношения к исчезновению Семёна?
Are you sure you have nothing to do with Semyon's disappearance?
Мы-то нет, а вот ты.
No, what about you?
Помнишь, как срулил от нас в потемках?
Remember how you bailed out on us in the darkness?
Ага, я так и говорю. Очкарик, дверь!
Yeah, I was like, this four eyes is a beast.
Тебя жирного нагонит и кокнет на!
We'll catch up with the fatso and end him, eh? No.
Базаришь.
What he said.
Однако мы тебе верим, а ты нам?
But we believe you. Works both ways, right? Romka's stern look made me uncomfortable, so I nodded.
Вот ты славно.
Good to hear. I mean, fair, to be honest. Like, I don't think they did it. I mean, obviously I don't. But I also would not, if I was them, I would laugh, but I wouldn't think that I would have killed them, you know? Ronka lowered his voice and looked around the corridor in suspicion. The other kids were stealing glances at us, whispering.
Что ж, Сёма пропал, это правда.
So, Sioma is missing, that is a fact.
Как и факт, что не просто пропал, а скорее всего уже сдох.
Not just missing, but most likely already dead. Probably. Biosha shuddered.
А ты почем знаешь?
How do you know that?
Так
Because...
мы за это уже терли. Здесь такие случаи не впервой.
We already talked about this. It's not the first time this had happened, okay?
Думаешь, Сенечка, Вова этот и Сёма в Нарнию попали?
Think Sneka, Bova, and Sioma went to Narnia?
Посидят в
And they'll
лесу с
return
карамелькой за щекой и назад пришлепают.
And they'll return from the forest after hanging out there, sucking on some candy?
Ясно же, кто их к себе прибрал.
It's clear who got them. It's the thing they talked about.
Неужели черный?
Can it be the black...
Маничела!
The serial killer?
Бля, буду пацаны. Это все местное Чикатило.
Sure as fuck, guys, it's the local Chikatilo, eh? What is that? Grocery! What is that? A Soviet... Andrei Chikatilo, a Soviet serial killer and cannibal. He sexually assaulted and killed at least 43 people, mostly women and children. He was later deemed legally sane and sentenced to death by a firing squad. Oh!
Вычислить бы еще, кто он такой.
If only we could find out who he is.
Ну, если этот убийца Бабурина завалил,
Well,
он и
if
по
that
нашей
killer
душе
of
явится,
Baburin,
отвечаю.
he'll come after us too.
Что же делать?
Why? What do we do now?
Вместе держаться, вот что. Втроем мы, как Вольтрон.
Stay together, that's what. The three of us are like Voltron. Voltron? No, sorry. An anime series about 5 teenagers that pilot robot lions that confuse into a single mega robot to protect the universe from the forces of evil. It was aired in Russia during the 1990s on channel 2X2. Voltron?
Это...
Um,
В Вольтроне их 5 было, но...
there were 5 of them in Voltron, eh?
Ну, считай, мы покалеченный Вольтрон.
Well, we're an injured Voltron then. He looked at me with an adult gaze and nodded. His eyes were full of worry and sadness.
Ладно, раз Сёмы больше нет, айда с нами.
Whatever. Since Sioma is no longer with us, let's go.
Дело
where?
одно есть. Постоишь для вида, покараулишь. Тебя, кажется, уже боятся все.
We have a job to do. You'll keep watch for us. Everybody seems to be scared shitless of you. Scared shitless of me? While I still couldn't wrap all that around my head, their attitude softened me up and I agreed on the spot. What are you gonna do? I followed Ronka and Biasha through the twilight corridors of our school, savoring my newfound braceness. We walked pompously, like heroes of some criminal drama, as if the three of us had access to some knowledge hidden from everyone else. I'm not sure I would have gone with them if they told me what the goal of our campaign was. We hid in the darkness near the school gym, and my companions started rubbing their knuckles, watching boys leave the dressing room. Finally, Biasha pointed at someone inside the crowd.
Вон этот лох!
Here's that sucker! Romkan smiled dangerously and proclaimed in a low voice.
Стой на стреме, и если кто из училок объявится, дай знать.
Keep watch. If you see a teacher, let us know. Uh-oh.
Гляди в четырехглазно!
Watch will all four eyes, eh?
Давай, давай. Ты нам
I stood at the
должен.
corner filled with conflicting feelings and thoughts.
Ничего я не должен!
In a
Ты чё, не
cul-de-sac
понял?
behind me, Romka was having a back and forth with some 5th grader.
Может, тебя на счетчик поставить, а? Ушлепок майонезный.
The boy was protesting on the verge of tears, but Romka stood his ground, spewing countless obscenities at him, and Biasha occasionally adding up a couple of words of his own. Would Dad praise me for involving myself with this?
Все, вали давай.
Alright, now scram! What happened? My friends came out of the cul-de-sac. A light bulb illuminated the camera in Romka's hand.
Ого, полароид. Он твой?
Wow, a Polaroid, is it yours? Romka shook the back electronics marble with a retractable flash, disinterested.
Теперь мой.
It is now. Oh,
Мне тут один должник велик торчал за свой гнилой базар.
there was this guy who owed me a bag for talking shit.
Но, говорит, нет у него велосипеда.
Turned out he didn't have one,
Вот и расплатился фотиком.
so he paid with the cam.
А мне он, честно говоря, и в хер не впился.
And have jack shit use for it. I felt bad for that boy, but all the negative thoughts disappeared when I looked at the treasured camera. Oh, he gave it to you! I could clearly imagine how happy Olga would be with this Polaroid. I imagined myself taking pictures of my sister, dad, and mom. The faces of my family would gradually appear on the hard paper as if emerging from dissolving mist. I take pictures of Paulina too. That way I'll be able to get her a photo for myself. I keep it in my desk under lock and key. You would ask her, right?
Раз он тебе не нужен, можешь мне его отдать?
Okay. If you don't need it, can I get it? Roma measured me with a sharp glare, turning into the Romka I met yesterday. The callous leader of a carnivorous pack.
Ты извини, братан, но я вещами просто так не разбрасываюсь.
Sorry, bro, but I don't throw things like that.
Могу в ломбард загнать, ну или разыграть во что-нибудь.
I can drop it at a pawn shop or bet it on some game. For some reason, as soon as he mentioned a game, I remembered Elisa. I looked at the Polaroid.
Ну давай я с тобой на него сыграю. Только во что?
Well, let's play for it then. Do you have a game in mind? Biasha snickered into his fist.
Чаром! Снимем с нашего Антошки последние штаны!
Yo, Romka, shall we make us Antoshka Lucy's shirt?
Я тебя чё, пидор, с пацанов штаны снимать?
Do I look like someone who'd strip another dude to you? Romka stared at me from above.
На что играть собрался?
What do you have to bet?
У тебя хоть бабки есть?
Do you even have cash?
Во-во! Свети карманы, Тосик!
That's right, what's in your pockets, Toshik? I slowly turned the pockets of my pants inside out in vain hopes of salvaging at least some change from my lunch money. Something rustled in my pockets. I fished out the Mercedes-Benz insert I got thanks to Alisa. I guess I shoved it in there without thinking when it flew out of my school bag with all the notebooks.
А на вкладыше играете?
Will you play for this insert? Biasha's eyes almost popped out of their sockets as soon as I brought the car's picture closer, but Ronka didn't move a muscle.
Хочешь, чтобы я целый фотик за какой-то там фантик отдал?
Want me to bet a whole can for some insert?
Это за...
That's...
Да жвачки это и рубль цена, а в полароиде кассета еще целая.
The gum is worth one ruble and this Polaroid has a fresh cartridge inside.
Да это за...
Look, that's...
Ой, у меня таких вкладышей жопой жуй, на кой мне еще?
I have a shit ton of inserts like that. Why would I want?
Мерседес-Бенц, на! Его-то нам и не хватало, Робert!
Mercedes-Benz, eh? The one we're still missing, Ronka.
Фу, блин.
Ronka spit on the ground. Ronka spit on the ground and slapped Biasha with the back of the head.
Ну ты и трепло, братка. Теперь он за него цену до небес взвинтит.
Why can't you keep your mouth shut? Now he'll jack up the price. Just like I suspected this automobile was a valuable addition for every Turbo Gun collector.
Ага, значит, появился интерес?
Aha, so this caught your eye after
Так
all.
во что будем играть?
What are we going to play?
Подкидного!
She's Durak?
В ножички?
Mumble Tea Peg? In the blink of an eye, a greasy deck of most likely marked cards appeared in Biasha's hands, and Ronka masterfully swung his buttering knife in front of my nose. I had no desire to play by their rules.
А давайте в камень-ножницы.
Let's play rock, paper, scissors.
О, а ты у нас любишь рисковать.
Oh, I see, you're a gambler. Gambling!
Ну что, мой полароид против твоего Мерса?
Alright, my Polaroid against your Mercedes?
По рукам.
Deal. Oh.
Есть!
Yes! I raised my fist towards the ceiling in triumph.
Стопэ, стопэ. У нас принято до 3 побед играть.
Wait. We do the best of 5 here.
А раньше
Hi, this is
сказать.
not 3. Why didn't you say that earlier?
Ты думал, все так просто будет, на?
Did you think it'd be this easy, eh?
Не пойму, чё ты хмуришься так? Один
What's
раз
with
уже
the pouting
выиграл,
face? You
преимущество
already
на
have
твоей
the
стороне.
advantage here.
Давай-ка продолжим.
Let's
Раз,
continue.
два, три!
1, 2, 3. I'd say... Rock? Fuck! Fuck! Alright. Fuck.
Как два пальца!
Easy peasy. Biasha started clapping so hard the kids walking through the corridor gave us weird looks. I was completely defeated.
Финикаля комедия, Тофик. Гони Мерсна.
Funicular Comedia, Toshik. Give me that, eh? My only proof of Alisa's existence traveled to Romka through Biasha's hands.
А вот и
You lost in
вишенка
rock,
моей
paper,
коллекции
scissors.
подоспела.
Here it is, the jewel of my collection.
Спасибо, Антош. Было приятно иметь с тобой дело.
Thanks, Tosha. It was a pleasure dealing with you. Fuck. Ah, man. It's been 7 days since the lieutenant visited our class. At first glance, everything was still the same. Okay. The forest still held out its gnarly claws towards the village, and the wind whipped up its white flags weaved from powdery snow every night. When my parents argued in the other room, I would turn up the TV's volumes to silence their muffled voices and sit close to Olga. Vova's and Semyon's photo were still on 2 black spots on the notice board, and round-faced Xenia hasn't returned home too. But something did change. I could see how different the looks of my classmates were. They made my pockets bulge with gifted apples, their animosity was gone, school wasn't scary anymore. But most importantly, a shadow slid across my desk, leaving behind a mysterious note. I glanced into the space between rows, but the messenger was already nowhere to be found. Who sent me these notes? What could this carefully ripped out and neatly folded piece of paper be hiding from me? More threats and humiliation, or... I took the piece of paper and carefully inhaled the wafting aroma. Blackberry. Oh. I'll be waiting at the cul-de-sac near the dressing room, come alone. Inside was a message in beautiful handwriting. I'll be waiting at the dead end near the resting room, come alone. Drunk on that sudden call, I immediately started walking, looking over my shoulder from time to time, making sure nobody was following me. I didn't even notice how I almost broke into a room and jumped around the corner. As soon as I did that, I ran into someone inside that dark nook.
Ой!
Ow! Like a magic bird, a green notebook gilded to my feet. Paulina puffed her cheeks in exaggerated anger.
Петров! Да ты совсем зрение потерял.
Petrov, have you lost your sight completely? I fixed my glasses, my nearsightedness wasn't that embarrassing anymore. I bent down and picked up the notebook.
Прости, я так торопился. Ты меня ждала? Что случилось?
Sorry, I was in a rush. Were you waiting for me? Did something happen? Paulina studied me with her eyes and clicked her tongue.
А знаешь, на что ты похож, Антоша?
Do you know what you look like, Antosha? Don't tell me, Bunny.
На блюзовую импровизацию.
Like blues improv. I blinked in bewilderment. Are you talking about music?
Это как?
What do you mean?
Для меня все люди с чем-то ассоциируются.
I always associate people I know with something.
И для меня. Но не с музыкой же.
Oh, I do that too, but why music?
Вот как раз с музыкой.
It can't be anything other than music.
Бывают люди гитарные соло. Или барабанный бой. Или военный марш, как наша Лилия Павловна.
Some people are like guitar solos, some are drums, some like our Lilia Pavlona are war marches.
А ты такой задумчивый, таинственный, иногда немного печальный.
And you are so thoughtful, so mysterious, sometimes even a bit sad.
Ты точно блюз.
You're definitely blues.
А почему импровизация?
And what about the improv part?
А это когда слушатель не догадывается, куда свернет мелодия. Какой
It's
темп
when the
возьмет.
listener has no idea where the melody will go, what tempo it will adopt. This is getting some Twilight tone to this, and I'm not digging it. I'm gonna be honest, I am a bit of a romance hater, okay? Of course, some of the things Paulina said went completely over my head. But I couldn't stop looking at her smile, light like a breeze in May, and her eyes deep and blue. You have blue eyes?
Чтобы распознать в тебе музыку, нужен
thought you had
опыт
brown
и
eyes.
вкус.
One needs to have experience and taste to recognize the music in you.
Это не какая-то там эстрада.
You're not some pop music. Hey, pop
Я,
music can be
наверное,
cool
вообще
too.
не знаю, что такое этот блюз.
I don't even know what blues is. Paulina gasped and frowned, which made her look even more beautiful.
Не произноси при мне такие слова. Я тебе обязательно дам кассету.
Don't even say something like that to my face. I'll make sure to give you a cassette.
Раньше мне дедушка из города столько музыки привозил. И
Grandpa
джаз,
used to bring me
и
so much
свинг,
music from the
классику.
city. Jazz, swing, and classical too.
Это он подметил, что у меня склад ума, как у музыканта.
He was the one to notice my musical mindset.
Я еще совсем маленькой пыталась на бумаге записать звуки природы.
When I was
Шумы
still
дождя,
very little, I
леса.
tried recording the sounds of nature on paper, the sounds of rain and the forest.
Эх, мне бы твои уши.
I wish I had ears like yours.
А мне бы твои глаза.
And I love to have your eyes. I tensed up, worried that she was making fun of me, but Paulina shook her head.
Да-да, я серьезно. У тебя глаза художника.
No, I'm serious. You have the eyes of an artist.
Смотришь на вещи и фиксируешь их. Я так не умею.
You're so good at picturing things. I can't do that. Oh. Katya walked past us with her trademark frosty glare. We dove into the shadows trying to escape it.
Теперь понимаешь, почему мы тут прячемся? Вот из-за таких, как она.
You understand why we're hiding here, right? Because of people like her.
А Катька какая мелодия?
And what kind of melody is Katya? Paulina flashed me a sly smile.
Скрип несмазанных дверных петель.
The squeaking sound of unoiled door hinges. I agree.
Знаешь, такой мерзкий дискант.
You know, this nasty descant. I giggled, covered my mouth. Katya didn't hear her whispers, but she suddenly glanced over her shoulder, clearly annoyed. A moment later, she sighed and went her way. I remember about the notebook I was still clutching in my hand. I turned it in my hands. Instead of a subject name, the front side had the name of the owner and two words, friends only.
Любопытной Варваре кое-что оторвали.
Curiosity killed the cat, you know?
Прости, это анкета?
I'm sorry, is this a questionnaire?
Заполнял когда-нибудь?
Have you ever filled one?
Угу.
I lied that I had. Why? Say no. In reality, girl classmates from my previous school had never asked me to fill their questionnaire. It was quite upsetting. I mean, it was a girl hobby. You just answer a set of standard questions about your favorite actors and colors, but entrusting someone with such a notebook was the sign of friendship. And maybe of something even more, something I only had a vague idea about.
Хочешь, заполни мою?
You can fill mine if you want, so it's like a friendship thing? My heartbeat quickened.
Хочу, спасибо.
I do, thank you. Paulina giggled.
А хотя... Там же столько секретов.
Actually, there are so many secrets there.
Наверное, лучше тебе не знать, о чем мы, девочки, думаем.
You'd be better off not knowing what we girls think. Why? She reached for the notebook playing with me. I tossed my finding into my free hand. Paulina tried to intercept my move. Her hair briefly touched my face, tickling my nose with its silky locks. I sensed an aroma that immediately filled the whole world. Fragrant, alluring, lively. If only I could picture it, steal it for myself. I felt dizzy, but I gathered myself and spoke in a voice reminiscent of Lieutenant Tikhonov.
Ваша анкета является важнейшей уликой, и я вынужден временно изъять ее для изучения.
Your questionnaire is an important piece of evidence, so I'm afraid I'll have to confiscate it for further examination. Paulina covered her mouth and rounded in fake horror.
И что мне грозит за сокрытие улик?
And what are the implications of concealing evidence?
Следствие покажет.
We'll decide that in the course of our investigation.
Сдаюсь, товарищ милиционер.
I surrender, Mr. Policeman.
Только обещайте ничего не читать.
Just promise you won't read anything. Then what would I want it
Здесь
for?
содержатся секретные сведения.
It's full of sensitive information.
Боюсь, что мне все-таки придется выяснить, не влюблен ли кто в гражданина Петрова.
I'm afraid I'll have to investigate whether someone is in love with Mr. Petrov. Oh! Paulina burst out laughing and pressed herself against my chest, showering me with the aroma of her hair and her milky skin that looked almost transparent, with tiny threads of pain running under it. This is not gonna end well. Her whisper was hot like a piece of butter sizzling on a pan.
Тогда поклянитесь, что не станете разглашать
Then swear that you
информацию.
will keep this information private.
Честная милицейская.
I swear on my police badge. You don't
А
have one.
теперь, Антоша, самое время поторопиться.
And now we need to hurry, Antosha. What the fuck is going on? Okay. I took the notebook during class. Okay. With utmost care, as if it was some sort of fragile treasure. I skimmed through it, reading into other people's preferences. Roma Piatifan. I was quite surprised to discover Roma's jerky handwriting style. Shafunsky February, hanging out, buying a BMW. Schwarzenegger, don't trust, don't fret, don't ask. DuckTales, Biasha. These letters bulge out the cells as if embarrassed by their shapelessness. Fearsome Romka found time for something so silly? I chuckled into my fist after I found out that Romka's favorite cartoon is not even Darkwing Duck, but DuckTales. Hey! It was good shit. I watched it when I was a kid, okay? Somewhere in the distance, a teacher was reciting pieces of Andreev Snapper. I paid them no mind. Paulina's page was so decorated with flower drawings and clippings from the Cool Girl magazine. Paulina, from Schubert, My Birthday, Listening, See the World, Robert Schumann, Losing the People I Love. I don't know what that is. That Musikan of Bremen, Grandpa. Her favorite musician is Schubert. Her best friend is her grandpa. Her hobby is not violin like I expected, but but a much more mysterious listening. Can such a mundane process really be someone's hobby? Yeah. I looked at Paulina over the heads of all the students. She was focused on taking notes. Okay. I flipped the pages until I found a blank one and armed myself with a pen. What's your name? What class are you in? Your favorite music? Your favorite holiday? Your hobby? What's your dream? Your hero? Your biggest fan? Your phone number? Your favorite cartoon? Your best friend? Anton Petrov, class 6B. Okay. It took a long time to decide my favorite musician until a trendy pop band Carman came to mind with the cool dancers and the music videos. Glossary! Who's this person? A Soviet and Russian techno-pop band most popular from the late 80s to 90s, founded by Bogdan Titomir and Sergei Lemokt. It is mostly remembered for unique dancing performances and for writing music theme for the Captain Pronin cartoon. Okay. Favorite holiday? This one's easy. New Year's. My hobby is drawing. My dream, going to Disneyland, I guess. My hero. My hand moved on its own, writing that. What if those who read this after me will find my answer laughable and stupid? Even after thinking for a bit, I decided that not even everything should be disclosed on paper. That's how Dad turned into Spider-Man. Spelling was wrong, but who cares? No, say Dad! Your biggest fear, huh? I immediately wrote, losing the person who's dear to me. Your phone number, no secret here. Your favorite cartoon, Transformers, okay. Your best friends, I hesitated knowing on the pen's cap. I remember Alisa gliding between the trees, laughing enthusiastically from the shadows. After all, she was the one who stopped the colossus of a monster that wanders in the forest in the night from daring me to beats. I mentioned a masked girl to Romka and Biasha before, but they just gave me weird looks. I wonder what she's up to right now. Your best friend, I read the question out loud. It was easy, but at the same time very important. My answer consisted of 3 letters and I filled them up with this in the cells with care. You. Oh, okay, it was a crush thing. Okay. I repeated when running out of the school. Refreshing frosty air made my cheeks turn beet red. It was bright outside and the light looked like a whole egg yolk. Oh, very orange. The road looked as if it was silver, the snow sparkled under the sunlight. I smiled, squinting from the blinding whiteness. There was also something magical in my chest that beckoned me, because friendship can grow into something bigger. What's with the happy face, Tosha? I swallowed my smile and turned red.
Да так, анекдот вспомнил.
I just remembered a joke. Biasha was shuffling his feet in the middle of her yard, his books restless on the ice.
Ну, делись тогда,
Share it with me, eh? I rummaged through my memory and blurted out a random joke that I heard today in the cafeteria.
Кощей вышел на крыльцо почесать себе сундук, зайца, утку и яйцо.
Why did the chewing gum cross the road? It was stuck on the chicken's foot. That's shit, man.
Ясно, Петросян.
I see, Petrosian. Glossary? Petrosian, a Soviet and Russian stand-up comic colloquially known as the kid of humorous remakes and dad jokes.
Ну идем на.
Let's go, eh? Yeah, not funny. He walked towards the school corner without waiting for me. I hesitantly tagged
А
along.
куда?
Where are we going? You'll see, eh?
Мы теперь в одной связке и действуем заодно.
We're now in one pack, so we move together.
Помощь твоя нужна в кое-каком дельце.
Well, you need to help us with some small business. Okay, I felt chills run over my body. I didn't like the sound of that small business. Those words, accompanied by spitting, nobody hid very dark dates underneath them. Strangers that used to call or old apartments used to say, "Get your old man, we have small business to discuss." Ooh! Biasha turned around. He looked like an astronaut in his tight hood. If I were to imagine him as a sound, he'll be a deafening whistle, a signal given by someone who stands watch. My knees started shaking as soon as I thought that I was about to be dragged into something shady. Whoa. Images flash before my eyes, taking up strict gaze as he shuts the prison cell door on me, my father hitting the bars in anger, Mom and Olga crying nearby. To my demise, there was nobody at the backyard, apart from the grim-faced Romka. He stood there, his feet wide apart, with his right hand hidden behind his back. He must be holding a knife, the steel butterfly of death that flies towards a person's heartbeat. Romka's dry lips were tightly pursed. He kept shooting glances at me as he looked around. What's going on? It was as if Romka read and announced my thoughts.
Что происходит?
What's going on?
Ничего, проветриваемся на.
Nothing much, we're out for a walk, eh? Biesha's voice sounded nasty, snarky.
Проветривайся в другом месте.
Walk some other way.
А мне и здесь нормально, да, куколка?
We like it here, right, baby? Baby, is he talking to me? I was so bewildered I wasn't able to squeeze out a single sounding reply. I just watched the bizarre scene play out in front of me by my new problematic friends.
Видишь? Ты ее напугал!
Look, you scared her.
А тебе какая забота, говнюк? Вали пока целно!
What do you care, shithead? Fuck off while you still can, eh? I was trying to digest what I just heard. Did Biesha just really call Romka a shithead? Is he out of his mind?
Пацаны,
Guys. Biesha snored my weak protest and stepping towards Romka, swung at him in a weird comical manner. Romka blocked the punch with his free hand, keeping his right hand behind his back. Even actors in Indian films that my mom loves fight more convincingly. Oh, not the Bollywood. Biesha started weeping even though I hadn't seen Romka hitting him.
Ай-яй-яй-яй-яй-яй-яй, больно как! У меня сотрясение мозга!
Ow, 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 it hurts. I have a concussion now. Roma kicked him in the knee and Biesha fell to the ground, sighing and moaning. What? And I stared at the approaching Romka without blinking. His elbow was twitching and his hand crawled from behind his back. I grew roots into the asphalt. A blade will shine in front of me. Here it comes. Romka jammed his hand from behind his back. My teeth chattered from fear. A bouquet of snowdrops that appeared out of nowhere in this freezing weather swayed in front of my face. What is this, flowers?
Позволь проводить тебя.
Let me escort you.
А то, сама знаешь, шастают тут всякие маньяки.
You know, there's all sort of creeps snooping around here.
Ну а Тёна, бедным маньякам уже и посасать нельзя.
What's wrong with innocent creeps doing a bit of snooping about, eh?
Хреновый из тебя маньяк, Бяшка. Даже Тоха не повелся.
You make for a shitty creep, Biasha. Even Toha was not faced.
А она нас в 2 счета раскусит.
She'll definitely see through your act. What? Words finally returned to me.
она? Кто она? Что тут творится?
She? Who is she? What's going on here? Romka snorted, blowing snowflakes off the flowers.
Маленькая репетиция, братан.
A small rehearsal, bro.
Хотели на твою реакцию посмотреть.
Wanted to see your reaction. Biasha stood up and brushed himself off.
Да Ромыч в тёлку одну втюрился.
Romka hit his head over heels for a chick.
Вон откуда-то цветы нарыл на.
Even dug up his flowers from somewhere, eh?
Пасть заткни!
Shut your trap. Oh, he probably likes Polina.
Так, планируем
I'm just-
подкатить слегка.
Planning a little pickup.
Разыграть представление, а то она неприступная, мать её за ногу.
Like staging a performance for her. She's so damn unapproachable, you see?
Типа гуляет девочка себе, а к ней докапывается такое вот говно.
She'll be just walking outside and then a shithead like him starts bothering her. Biasha grumbled, upset.
Сам ты говно!
I'm not a shithead.
Ну и я такой ее раз и спасаю.
And here's where I come in and bam, save her.
Но чё-то Бяш совсем бездарный актер.
But Biasha turned out to be a shit actor.
Давай-ка ты маньяком будешь.
How about you become the creep?
Я?
Me?
Ну а чё?
Yeah, you.
Как по телеку показывали, маньяки вообще всегда тихие, скромные люди.
I saw it on TV. Serial killers are always these silent, shy types.
Вот прям как ты.
Just like you.
А благодаря Катькиным сплетням все в школе думают, что именно ты бабурину кокнул.
And thanks to Katya's gossip, the whole school thinks you were the one to off babbering.
Давай, соглашайся.
Come on,
Тох.
Toha. I felt relief, nothing criminal, just a scene for a girl.
Что делать-то надо?
What do I need to do?
Ты же видел Бяшино кривление?
You saw Biasha's antics, no?
Тип, идешь ко мне, борзый такой, можешь разок в печень заехать,
You come at me all brave, you can even punch me in the
а я
stomach.
тебя тип херак и в сугроб.
And then I'm like, ha! And you fly into the snow pile.
Ну, давайте попробуем.
Well, let's give it a try. Roma livened up.
Отлично.
Nice!
Бяша, меняешь пол. Ты теперь тёлочка.
Biasha, change of plans, you're a little girly now.
Гуляй.
Walk. Biasha started dragging his feet around the schoolyard, grimacing.
Я тёлочка красивая, тёлочка.
I'm a girly, I'm a pretty girly, I'm gonna walk. Slay, Biasha, slay.
Тоха, действуй.
Your move, Toha. I went towards Romka, fighting the urge to smile. He hit his hand again and put a stern expression, a 5-star actor.
Она моя!
She's mine.
Рискни.
Let me see you try. Oh! I tried and I threw a punch in the direction of my friend. My knuckles barely grazed his leather coat and Romka suddenly fell. Not from my laughable poke, but of course because he slipped on ice. He plopped on his back with his full weight, with a chance to get a hand out of the way. Petals from the squash flowers were left on the snow. I rushed to help.
Ой, бля. Да погоди ты, не дергай.
Wait, don't pull.
Не сломал?
Did you break anything? Roma was carefully working on his wrist.
Да не, ушиб вроде.
Nah, just probably a bruise.
Лед приложить нужно на.
You should put some ice against it, eh?
Тебя, мудака, приложить нужно.
I'd rather put your moronic head against the wall.
Об стенку башкой.
I smack it as hard as I can. Romka was already laughing when he got up and gathered the flowers.
Да, если я так при подруге навернусь, можно будет про нее
Well,
забыть.
if I go flying in front of that chick, I might as well forget about her.
Давай еще раз отрепетируем.
Let's give it another go. Roma shook his head.
Вечером, как рука пройдет.
In the evening, when my hands get better,
Не хочу опозориться перед первой скрипкой школы.
I don't want to fuck up in front of the school first violin. I stumbled mid-word. A switch flipped in my head. It all makes sense now. I remember Bromka constantly sneaking glances at Polina. I remember his scrawly handwriting on the questionnaire. Why didn't I study it more in depth? I felt like somebody hit me over the head with a giant hammer, making me sink into the ground. Polina, she was the main character of this play directed by Romka, and I landed at the role of the third wheel. I mumbled hesitantly.
Договорились.
Alright.
Вот это я понимаю, команда Вольтрона.
Now that's what I'm talking about, just like Voltron's team.
Один за всех.
One for all,
И
and
все
all on
на
one.
одного!
Захлопни.
Shut it.
Если вдруг тебе понадобится помощь, Антоха, можешь рассчитывать на меня.
If you ever need help, Antoha, you can count on me.
А
Oh,
теперь бывай.
Biasha, don't treat him that way. You're supposed to be friends too. See ya.
Вечером мы к тебе заглянем.
I just noticed the North fake. I love it. We'll visit you in the evening. Oh. The aftertaste of horrible water I drank down my meds with lingered in my mouth. My thoughts were focused on Polina, but the play where I was assigned the role of the villain was also on my mind.
Да.
I wandered around the house feeling intoxicated. I nodded to everything my sister said without trying to discern her words. Alia was talking non-stop, at times lifting her arms and laughing, only to then suddenly go quiet and give me mom's signature gnarly look.
А?
I was yanked out of the prison of my own mind, where seething thoughts pecked at my brain like harpies, stopping me from coming back to reality. I stepped back. Olga looked at me like a mini version of her mom right now. Well, to be precise, she looked like the person Mom turned into when we moved here, with her intimidating posture and her eyebrows directed towards the ceiling.
Ты меня не слушал, так?
You weren't listening to me, were you? No. She tried spitting out those words at me, copying facial expressions of the person she spent almost all of her free time with. For a moment, I felt like the light Olga exuded all these years waned and wavered in the wind of prolonged changes. Very soon, my beautiful princess will turn into the dragon that was once guarding her prison tower. That thought was much scarier to me than any other horror sneaking up to me from the future.
Оля, прости.
Sorry, Olga.
Ты же не сердишься, правда?
I didn't want to
Я
make you
просто
mad, I
задумалась.
just got lost in thought. I looked around the room, my gaze jumping from one object to another like a hungry beast, trying to find anything that could distract Olga.
А давай в приставку поиграем.
Let's play the console. Olga pouted, but there was a spark of interest in her small emerald eyes. The Snow Queen's eyes shards inside them started not thawing.
А как же второй джойстик? Не работает же.
And what about the second controller? It's not working.
А папе починить некогда.
And Dad has no time to fix it.
Можем из пистолета пострелять.
We can play with the light gun.
Ковбоев или уток. Хочешь?
What do you want to play? Cowboys, dogs? You're better than me at both.
Да ладно тебе.
Oh, come on.
Поди целый день тренировалась, пока меня дома не было.
You must have been practicing the whole time I was away from home. Olia burst out laughing. Her heart was warm once again. How did you know?
Догадался?
Aww.
Я сейчас знаешь, какая меткая.
But I'm a good shooter now. You've already lost.
Не на того напала. Включай скорее.
You've picked the wrong fighter here. Come on, turn it on. Little Olga jumped toward the TV set and after flicking the power switch, started blindly feeling around the backside of the photon, trying to plug the console's cable into the antenna's input. Aww. Bits of TV shows started flashing onto the CRT screen when I armed myself with the remote to look for the channel with the sought after the ND signal.
Что дома интересного происходило?
Did anything interesting happen at home? It was a mundane question for me. I didn't put any actual meaning behind it. But Olga's expression suddenly changed. She lost all of the childish nonchalantness she worked so hard to acquire before.
Оль, что-то случилось?
What happened, Olga? My sister managed to put the cable in its place and started brushing off the dust over her hand. She was clearly looking for the courage to continue the conversation.
Мама,
Mom, she... Olga went silent and for a moment I thought I saw tears welling up in her eyes.
у нее опять был этот страшный.
She had this scary thing happen to her again. My sister looked at me with wet eyes. What? I'm sorry? She had a fit, huh? This had happened before, but it was a rare occasion. Now that we've moved into this godforsaken place, Mom fits rose in frequency.
Папа принес большую рыбу.
Dad brought home a big fish.
Она в газету была завернута и
It was
пахла так.
wrapped in newspaper and had a foul smell.
А мама
Mom
опять
got
начала
angry again.
злиться. Потом взяла нож.
Mom got angry again and then she took a knife. Olga squirmed, looking fearfully out the window.
Они начали громко ругаться.
They started screaming at each other. I froze, imagining my little sister so small and unnoticeable standing in the kitchen doorway. She wasn't even trying to hide, her parents just paid her no mind at all.
Потом мама ударила.
And then Mom struck
Вот
it.
так.
Like this. Olga slightly moved her fist downward, imitating a strike.
Рыбу.
She hit the fish.
Она была живая тоже. Ей было больно. А мама...
It was still alive, Tosha. It must have been in pain. And Mom... It was so easy to imagine what happened next. The rhythm fish with a blade between its fins squirted like some foul-smelling musk into Mom's face. Whether deaths got hit this close to my mom, be when a person was hit by a bus in front of us and their blood was smeared all over the windshield. What? Or when Grandma chopped off a chicken's head, Mom would always get into a weird, dreadful fit. Her eyes would roll over, she would fall on her face like a freshly cut tree and start breathing like that agonizing fish, turning over chairs and blurring out bits of scary sentences. She's like epileptic or something? Oh my god. And what about Dad? Did he help her? Olga shuddered as if he just remembered it, pain her. Yes, but at first. Then he started laughing, Toha. He let out an evil laugh when he shot that Mom was in trouble. But then he cried. Olga's story made me raise an eyebrow. It seemed like the forest oozy madness had not only completely consumed our Mom, but also infected our strong and courageous Dad. I quickly stepped towards Olga and locked her in a tight embrace. Oh my god. She dug her face into my chest and I could feel my shirt becoming wet.
Зачем они так издеваются друг над другом, Тош?
Why are they bullying each other, Tosha? Oh my god.
Они сумасшедшие.
Are they crazy? I stuttered, unable to justify the actions of our parents. I had run out of words and all I could do was hug Olga even tighter. Olga screamed and hid behind me. What the fuck? Turn it off quick! No matter how many times she saw this intro, she would always react the same. Just like when she saw that owl. Oh god. I mean, I also got goosebumps every time this ghastly face appeared on the screen, so I immediately complied with my sister's request. What is this? Glossary! A TV company logo depicted a ceramic head of the Chinese philosopher Guoxiang with a three-legged toad on top of his head. It instilled horror in a whole generation of 90s kids in Russia. Oh god. Alright, let's play. Finally, the game selection screen showed up for the cartridge that was bundled with the console. Too bad most of the games here were just different levels of the same game. Okay. I picked up the great rectangular controller and started looking around the pixel letters to find the familiar English word for duck. Background music from the menu soothed Olga's mind and she asked in a calm voice,
А как твои дела в школе?
"How are things at school?"
Да вот, завел пару друзей. Наверное.
I made a couple of friends, I guess.
Ого, целых двух. Везет.
Wow, a whole two of them, lucky.
А
Aw.
ты говоришь, лисичку видела?
Right, didn't you say you saw a fox?
Ага, ее зовут Алиса.
Yeah, her name is Alisa. Uh-oh. I immediately felt uneasy when my new acquaintance was mentioned.
Откуда ты знаешь? Она так сказала.
How did you know? Did she tell you?
Да, когда с мамой мусор ходили выбрасывать. А еще говорила, что спасла тебя.
Yes, when Mom and I were throwing out garbage, she also said that she saved you.
Спасла?
Saved me? I remember my fight with the delinquents in the forest and that mysterious whisper from the thicket. I remember the fleeing Semyon and the horned giant towered above me with its outstretched hand. All that time I could feel Alisa's unseen presence as she was watching me from behind the crooked trees, a smile stuck to her ginger mask. I shuddered, chasing away this delusion.
А еще она что-нибудь говорила?
Did she say anything else?
Нет.
Nuh-uh.
Мама так быстро вернулась. Я ее хотела с лисичкой познакомить, а та уже убежала.
Mom came back so fast, I wanted to introduce them, but the fox had already run off.
Ты ее не боишься?
Aren't you afraid of her?
А почему я должна бояться? Алиса добрая, такая пушистая и красивая.
Why would I? Alisa's so kind, she's so fluffy and pretty.
Не то что сова.
Unlike that owl. I plugged the light gun into the second controller port, listening to my sister's thoughts.
Тюря первая!
I go first. Okay. Oh god. Get ready? What? Okay. Oh fuck. What am I doing?
Считай, это я тебе поддалась.
I was going easy on you here. Oh, you almost won. Okay, good. That's my sister. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. She has been practicing. I'm terrible at this.
Это ты виноват, что я промазала.
Boo, it's your fault I missed. You didn't get as many chances, that's not fair. Okay. Oh god, I'm terrible at this. Fuck. Okay. Whoop. Ooh.
Неситова!
This doesn't count, you were closer to the skin. I'm not playing with you anymore. Come on.
Антон!
My mom only managed to get through to me on her third attempt.
Антон, тебя к телефону.
Anton, there's a call for you.
Девушка какая-то.
It's a girl. I sobered up in an instant and rushed to the hallway.
Не споткнись, смотри.
What's your step? I grabbed the phone, pressed it into my chest, looking at my mom. She shrugged and went into the room, gathering the toys thrown around by Olga as she went.
Алло?
Hello?
У твоей мамы такой молодой голос.
Your mom has such a young voice.
А, ну да. Она сама молодая.
Well, yeah, I mean she's young.
Не мешаю?
Are you busy right now?
Нет, что ты.
No, of course not. If only she knew how costly this conversation could be for me, what risk I took on just answering this call. There were a pen and a shabby notepad lying on the nightstand. I picked them up and started moving the tip of the pen across the paper, producing chaotic doodles that always ended up turning into hearts. Oh, I do this too!
Я прочла твои ответы.
I've read your answers.
А тебе действительно Кармен нравится?
Do you really like Carman?
Мне, если по правде, русский рок больше нравится.
I like Russian rock more, to be honest.
Но я почему-то постеснялся это написать.
I was too embarrassed to put it there for some reason.
А хочешь, Антоша, и я честной буду?
And do you want me to be honest with you too, Antosha?
Конечно.
Of course. My pen drew an outline of a girl's face, her eyes, her long eyelashes. Polina spoke in a harsh voice, probably to keep her grandpa from hearing.
Мне здесь ужасно тоскливо.
I'm bored to death here.
Дома?
At home,
В поселке.
in the village,
Здесь никогда и ничего не происходит.
there's nothing
А
to...
если происходит, то всякая гадость.
There's nothing going on here, and if there is, it's always something nasty.
Дело даже не в пропавших детях.
And it's not even about the missing kids.
Здесь музыки мало.
There's almost no music here.
Но у тебя же кассеты есть.
Don't you have your cassettes?
Я не про записи.
I'm not talking about audio records.
Я про... Ну, голос этого места.
I mean this place voice. Also, what a cool drawing for such a young kid.
Он не мелодичный.
It's not melodic at all.
Шит, как патефонная игла. Скрипит. Воет изредка.
It's rustling like a record player needle. It just squeaks and moans from time to time.
Тут неуютно.
очень.
It feels uncomfortable, suffocating.
Не знаю, как объяснить тебе.
I don't know how else to explain this. My pen's tip drafted a house surrounded by tall trees.
Кажется, я тебя понимаю.
I think I know what you mean.
Моя сестренка говорит, что чувствует себя заточенной в темницу.
My little sister says that she feels like a prisoner here.
Вот и я. Я очень люблю дедушку.
Me too, but I love Grandpa. I don't want to abandon him.
Но порой так хочется убежать. Далеко-далеко.
Sometimes I just want to escape so badly, somewhere very far away. Into the forest, I thought half-heartedly. To run under the falling snowflakes that make your fur white and the branches that hide you from prying eyes.
Я, когда рисую, будто путешествую.
When I draw, I feel like I'm transported to another place.
У меня также со скрипкой.
It's the same for me and the violin.
Убегаю по смычку в небо.
I ram up the bow straight from the sky. I ran up the bow straight to the sky. I realized I was drawing a butterfly knife. I crossed it over. Ooh, thinking of Romka ruined my mood. Should I tell her? Should I warn her about his plans to seduce her? I could throw a wrench into those plans. But what about our Bolton twin? They may not be my best friends, but we're still buddies. Who would I become if I betrayed them? Oh. I mean, you can just... I feel like there's like a neutral way to do this? Yes, Romka did act horrible from time to time. He was unfair towards others and manipulated the weak, but something told me that friendship wasn't just a word to him. Didn't I wish to make friends in this new place? Team Boltrum. What? Even though they were as monstrous as the ancient forest scenery outside my window, I lifted my glasses, rubbed my eyes.
Поскорей бы уже повзрослеть.
I wish I could grow up faster.
Думаешь, будет проще?
Do you think it'll make life easier? The doorbell rang before I could reply. My wandering gaze stumbled upon the door. Romka and Biasha came to pick me up for the rehearsal, and I was supposed to help them lure away the girl I like.
Полин, подожди минутку.
Paulina, wait a moment. I made a couple steps and pressed myself into the door. Yeah. The light bulb hanging outside illuminated the porch, and I could discern two silhouettes through the frozen peephole. Look what the cat dragged in.
Подождите, я сейчас!
Please wait, I'll be out in a moment. I returned to the phone and I picked up the handset.
Мне надо бежать.
I need to run. Me too.
Спасибо, что выслушал.
Thanks for lending an ear. My ear vibrated from the buzzing sounds. I lowered the handset on the phone and snuck a peek at the staircase. My mom, engrossed in her favorite TV show, didn't hear the ringer. Tell her! I put my shoes and hat without warning anyone and slipped into the dark winter evening. Tell your mom! I blinked, getting used to the twilight. The wind plucked at my cheeks. It carried the cold, resinous smells of coniferous trees from the forest. Freezing air crackled somewhere in the field. Two shadows loomed in front of the gate. I could only recognize them as my classmates because of their height. Are you sure? I walked towards the fence, listening to the howling wind and the squeaking snow. One of the figures moved and so slowly glided towards the thicket like an ice skater. I slowed down and touched my glasses, trying in vain to adjust my vision to the surrounding darkness. Weren't they closer before? Like, at the door? Worry landed on my shoulders like a weightless snowflake. A snake woke up in my belly and started writhing. I felt nauseous. I thought about home, the flimsy fortress behind my back. Mom and Olga were sitting on the second floor of the warm house in front of the TV, watching the adventures of characters in Santa Barbara. I really didn't want to be a part of Romka's plan, and what I wanted even less was going out there to the place where a double shadow was wavering in the wind.
Что да, реально.
Why so slow, eh?
Мы тут замерзли совсем.
We're freezing here. Yasha's voice was trembling and the restless Romka was letting out clouds of steam. He looked deep in thought and in love.
До костей продроглено.
We're freezing to the bone, eh?
Шевелись!
Move it!
Да иду.
I'm going. Okay, so it's them. I hope. I heaved a deep sigh and walked forward, kicking snow piles. Biasha froze in place, facing the taiga. He was a hand's reach away, and I put my numb wrist on his shoulder for some reason, probably to make sure it wasn't a dream. Oh my fucking god. My chest. I'm not gonna say a mean word, I'm gonna be nice. But oh my god, it got me. A pointy beak was directed at me, strung with feathers that form an owl's face. Someone was wearing a bird's mask and staring at me.
До самых косточек.
Hood hood to the bone. Oh my god. Hootie, who the fuck is you? This voice sounded exactly like Biasha, but there was somebody else hiding behind the feathers and the cardboard. I sprinted away as if somebody whipped me. The masked creature only pretending to be Biasha. They wanted to lure me out. I was running like crazy, drumming in snow. The house in front of me was rapidly growing. The yellow light and its windows granted me hope. My mom and sister are there, my salvation. I couldn't hear anything from behind me, as if nobody was chasing me. Maybe it's because owls can fly? I was already climbing the porch when I noticed another figure. From the soot-black shadow of my house, a scruffy wolf cub crawled out of and stood in my way. Its movements were jerky, chaotic, as if performing some terrifying dance, or convulsing during a stroke. What the fuck? And even though I could clearly see that the wolf's face was a mask, something in this werewolf's convulsions made me freeze in place. The boy in a wolf's costume rubbed his side against the porch post and fell to his knees. He bent his back so hard that I expected his spine to crack. The beast's eyes shone, but he didn't attack. He kept crawling around and running on all fours. I shifted my feet, my mouth agape, trying to escape him in my line of sight. Something was trickling from the slit in the mask. Vicious drops fell to the wooden planks. Saliva. Some unknown force pushed me in the back, whispering me to save myself. Oh my god. The fence was flashing by the edge of my vision. I was running in another direction this time, towards the edge of the forest, that smell of pine. No, get in the house! My heartbeat measured time. The wolf would growl behind my back as if he forgot his human nature. My right leg got stuck in the snow-laden cavity. I yanked it out, cursing under my breath, and fell to the ground. Blustering in snow prevented me from standing up, from propping myself against anything, but my unbound thirst for life helped me get out of that trap. Darkness was creeping closer, like the toxic fumes of burial pyres. I ran, gasping for air that stung my throat. My hair swayed in the wind. I lost my hat when I fell down. My ears were now hot from the freezing cold, while most of my body was still sweaty. The field finally ended. After realizing that I was running into the forest wasn't the smartest decision I could make, I dove into the line of trees. I ran without stopping, my face covered with one of my palms. I didn't want to lose an eye to some random branch. You're wearing glasses though. Branches whipped my clothes, prickled my skin like butchers that were hurting a pig into the grinder. A knot of roots sprouting from the ground grabbed my foot. I ran into the scratchy trunk, slid down to its base, and looked around in panic. Phew, you're so fast! Oh my god. My first desire was to dash towards her and hug her. I resisted it and squeezed myself even tighter into the pine.
Что ты здесь делаешь?
What are you doing here? This and that. She was holding the hat I lost. Working part-time in Lost and Found. Oh my god, I can't with this game. Oh my god. Put it on, or your ears will freeze and maybe fall off soon. She giggled. This game stresses me out. I squinted in suspicion and shifted my gaze back and forth between her and the hat, scared that Alisa might be holding a severed head or something even more sinister. But in the end, the hat turned out to be just my hat. Yeah, take it, man. I took it and pulled it over my forehead.
Тепло?
Feeling warmer? I didn't reply.
Там во дворе были какие-то дети.
There were some children in the yard.
И что, покусали тебя, что ли?
And did they bite you or something?
Нет.
No?
А чего же ты убежал?
Then why did you run away? The answer was obvious, but after rolling the thought on my tongue, I mumbled,
Не знаю.
I don't know.
Обещала не обзывать тебя дурачком.
Why did I promise to never call you a dunce again?
А я обещание
Oh well,
исполняю.
I keep my promises. She walked up to me and grabbed me by the elbow. I sensed the familiar aroma of mint, oranges, and burnt sparklers. I wanted to lean into Alice to savor Alisa. Got her right. To flavor the minute details of her smell.
Сколько можно повторять? Со мной ты в безопасности.
How many times do I need to tell you you're safe as long as you're with me?
Я твой друг.
I'm your friend.
И они.
And they are too. I quickly turned around towards the place the fox girl was pointing to. Kids in masks appeared at the clearing. At least they looked like kids since they were all pretty short. I don't like this! A wolf boy, an owl girl, and a bear boy. They all huffed and gasped for air, clearly tired from running around.
Я думала, ты в снег провалился.
I thought you fell through the snow.
Стало снеговать, нет тебя.
Started digging around but couldn't find you. You mean this is a girl?
А я не копал.
And I didn't care enough.
А ну как
You see.
получается? Если дурак, ты бегай да копай.
You see, if you're dumb, you run around and dig.
А если умный, подожди, пока другие набегаются,
smart,
накопаются и
You wait
устанут.
until the others get tired of running around and digging.
Уж тогда заводи разговор.
Then you start talking.
Как я рад,
You're a rat.
дегенерат.
Degenerate.
А?
Huh?
Не обращай внимания, он со странностями.
Don't mind him, he's a weirdo. You're telling me that between all of you, he's the worst. Oh my god. I stood there stupefied, my mouth agape and my hands dangling helplessly. I had no idea how to react to the words of this late night guest, but I managed to squeeze out something resembling a smile.
Вы просто меня напугали.
You just scared me, that's all. Oh god. Look at this. Wow, these really are the vultures. They started looking at each other and somebody even snorted as if I said something funny.
Да, лиса права.
Yes, the fox is right.
Это он.
He's the one.
Нет, это наш.
No, this is our.
Неужели нашли?
We finally found him.
Наш зайчик.
Our bunny.
Да, похож.
Yes, he looks the part. The wolf's boy started walking what? The wolf boy started walking up out of his costume like he was his tail in excited. First!
Ну, конечно, ты первый.
Of course you were first.
Это волчик раньше всех почуял зайчика в тебе. И
Wolfie here
рассказал
was the
нам.
first to sense the bunny in you. He told us about you.
Здравствуй.
Hello.
С нашей совушкой ты знаком не понаслышке. Не такая уж она и страшная, правда?
You've already met our hoodie before. She isn't that scary, is she?
Да, наверное.
I guess.
А этот улыбчивый бугай — медвежутка.
And this smiling big guy is Teddy.
Ты лучше с ним поласковее, а то голову откусит.
Be mindful with him or he'll chew off your head.
Зачем это?
Huh?
Да, смотрю, ты чувство юмора где-то обронил.
I see you've also dropped your sense of humor somewhere on the way here. I was still unsure if these peculiar little animals had the best intentions in mind, so I hid my hands behind my back, trying to look away from the gaping holes of their carnival mask. Alisa put her hands on her sides in a theatrical manner and somehow managed to wink in her fox face.
Когда в следующий раз придем, Будем звенеть в колокольчики, чтобы ты не так боялся нашего визита.
The next time we come, we'll ring bells for you. That way you'll be less scared of our visit.
А у нас разве есть колокольчики?
Do we even have any bells?
Чур, я звенить не буду.
I won't be
У
ringing.
меня лапка
My paw
болит.
hurts. My smile was no longer fake. Are these the missing children? Could this be Semyon?
О, зубы показал. Это добрый знак.
Ah, you showed us your teeth. That's a good
Не
sign.
ожидала, что сможем тебя
I
рассмешить.
didn't expect you to find us fun.
Я думала, это под силу только Диснейленду.
I thought it was an emotion reserved strictly to Disneyland.
Откуда ты знаешь?
How do you know that?
Да так, прочитала кое-где.
I read about it. Somewhere.
Про меня?
You read about me?
Про клюв от воробья. Про Диснейленд яхонтовый.
Aren't you funny? No, about Disneyland, darling.
Ты умеешь
You can
читать
read human?
по-человечески?
Зря я, что ли, в школу хожу день ото дня.
Do you think I've been going to school every day for nothing? You go to school? And then she sang in a coquettish voice.
Как детей не замечать, как мечты их развенчать. Учат в школе, учат в школе, учат в школе. Крепко-накрепко вломить, с детства слабеньких чморить. Учат в школе, учат в школе, учат в школе.
What? Where to hit kids every week, where to prey on all the meek at your local school, of course, and in your classroom. I let out a cautious laugh. My new acquaintances didn't seem scary anymore. On the contrary, they looked friendly and welcoming. There was something about them that attracted me. Just like this clearing, this moon, and the snowflakes that fell backwards from the ground to the sky as if someone was rewinding a tape. Oh, there's someone else there. The masked kids got close and I felt their touch. They gave me friendly taps, felt my clothes, as if checking whether I was real. There was no animalistic malice in their touch, only pure childish curiosity. For some reason I thought to myself, I can trust them. Snowflakes just kept on floating upwards.
Никто тебя больше не обидит.
Nobody will hurt you anymore.
Друг,
Friend.
пусть только попробуют.
Yeah, if somebody even tries to. The fox gave me a slight tug and burst out
Ну
laughing.
что, Тоша, убежишь с воплями?
Well
Или
then,
с
Tosha,
нами
will you run
пойдешь?
away screaming or come with us?
Куда?
Where to?
На аттракционы!
To the amusement park? Huh? At that moment, Taiga's deceptive silence was broken by the sound of a distant flute. Mesmerizing and alluring, it brought about the ring of crystal glass and whispers of fresh winter spring. If I had any doubts before, the flute's song shattered the last of them. I started following my new friends before I could even make my decision. I knew it! My legs carried me of their own will, and the tunnels made of pine stepped apart, bushes bowed in front of our procession. Everything looked like a dream. Because even the clearing we ended up on I only saw in my dream. The flute soared up in the treetops like some fantastical bird. The snowflakes floated up in a spiral. The moon painted tree branches with silver. Alisa gasped in amazement, and I was also in awe. I tilted my hair backwards as far as I could.
О, красиво как.
Hoot, what a sight!
Очень красиво.
It's so beautiful. How Wolfie howled in agreement.
Это мелочи.
This is nothing.
Я покажу гораздо больше,
I can show you much more,
если захочешь.
if you want. I did want, and I wanted to see what the fox girl saw with her eyes hidden in the semi-dark of her cape. Now, I didn't feel weird about these masked kids. I felt weird for being the only one without a mask. I felt like I was naked in the January winds.
Скажите, а зачем вам маски?
Why do you wear these masks? I was trembling, but I wasn't scared. I was trembling because my trembling wasn't caused by the cold. It originated from the peculiar anxiousness, the anticipation of something amazing.
А тебе зачем?
And why do you ask? I touched my cold cheek.
Но я без маски.
I'm not wearing one. I love human tails.
Человеческие ласки.
Human nails?
Человеческие
Human
дрязги.
fails.
Я же говорила,
I've already told you.
все жители поселка носят маски.
All the villagers wear masks.
Только скрываются за ними.
It's just that you won't find anything human underneath them.
И даже я?
Even me?
Ты такой рассеянный, Антон.
You're so clumsy, Antoine.
Однажды мы уже нашли твои очки.
We've already found your glasses once already.
И шапку.
And your hat. This has to be
И
the guy.
твое настоящее лицо.
And your real face. I looked at the mask the fox was holding out to me. The bunny mask that looked like a silver ingot under the moonlight. I was curious to see the world through its slits. Can I say no? I don't want it. This guy spit on her. Suddenly, fighting its way through the flute's memory, a thought came to me. The glasses they found were in Semyon's possession. My new acquaintances must have known what happened to him. Or even worse.
А куда подевался Семен? Что с ним стало?
And where did Semyon disappear to? What happened to him?
И с остальными детьми?
And the other children? The bear and the owl looked at each other. The wolf boy curled into a ball, and the fox lowered its pointing nose of her mask.
Тот, кого держали в клетке.
The one who was kept in a cage.
Тот, кто режет мелко-мелко.
The one who cuts into little pieces.
Тот, кто носит кожаное лицо.
The one who wears a skin face took them.
Умел бы я креститься, перекрестился бы.
If I knew how to cross myself, I'd do it.
Хотите сказать, это был
So you're
человек?
saying it was a human?
Чем ты только слушал?
Were you even listening to us?
Разве можно назвать такого, как он?
How can you call someone like him human?
Одно слово. Взрослый.
There is just one word for him, an adult.
В мире взрослых так.
It's so easy to get lost in the adult world.
Убийцы, жестокие дрессировщики.
Killers, cruel animal
Неравнодушные
trainers,
родители.
and cold parents.
Лучше об этом вовсе не думать, чтобы не грустить.
If you don't want to get sad, better not to think about them.
Не знаю, как вам, а мне печалиться совсем не хочется.
I don't know about you, but I definitely do not want to get sad.
И я сегодня какой-то негрустный.
Somehow, I'm also not sad today.
Антон, а ты?
What about you, Anton?
А?
Huh? I was lost in thought, staring at the pines, trying to pinpoint the location of the flute. I was sure that person who played it was standing right behind its piney estocade. Someone tall going over the holes in the flute with their long fingers.
Так что, сядем тосковать или займемся отдыхом?
It has to be this guy. What now? Are we gonna sit and be sad or have some fun?
Алиса хотела что-то показать.
Alisa wanted to show me something.
Давай начнем с самой сладкой части
Let's start with
программы.
the sweet stuff. The fox girl took out a handful of candy from her pocket and handed them to each of the kids. The covers shuffled. The smell of pineapple, cocoa, and melon wafted through the air. What? Last ate a chocolate-covered waffle candy. Alisa put it right into my mouth. My tongue was engulfed in spiciness. I felt like my body was covered in fur and small sparks were running along it. I chewed on the waffle and the chocolate, gulped them down, enjoying the vivid taste.
Спасибо.
Thanks. My gratitude was barely audible because my lips were already touching the insides of a mask. I didn't even notice how I put it against my face. The papier-mâché was warm. This mask stuck to my skin, giving it a nice prickle. The kind when you dive into a hot bath after being outside in winter, when you lie there and purr from the soapy water.
Говорила же, это твое!
See, I told you, this is yours.
Мое.
Mine.
Чего стоим? За нас веселиться никто не будет.
What are we waiting for? The fun won't have itself. You're right. The melody kept swirling in the field like a hurricane. I couldn't wait to release the energy, the heat that this enchanted music was filling me with. The owl jumped and disappeared into the sky. I heard her laughter from somewhere above, then she landed back huffing and sighing.
И ты так можешь. Попробуй.
You can do it too, give it a try. I followed suit. My feet tore off colors! My feet tore off from the ground. I flew toward the stars like a rocket and screamed from happiness after seeing my friends down below. The wind helped me fly. It felt like I was jumping on a huge trampoline. Wow, it's finally colorful. It's amazing. The stars look like vivid sparkles that I could reach and lick up. The moon also got closer, and then I plunged. I got scared that I broke my legs for a moment, but my soul landed softly on the ground and I regained my balance.
С нами ты в безопасности.
You're safe with us,
И все твои мечты станут явью.
and all your dreams will come true.
Я так счастлива наконец обрести тебя.
I'm so happy that I finally found you,
Зайчик.
Bunny. In a fit of merry laughter, I realized that the most important thing, these four are not a threat. My real enemies, and I felt that with every single hair on my mask, were those who knew nothing about magic, humans from the village. Ooh. I also realized how alive my surroundings have become. I heard the dry grass under the snow moan. I saw faces of the trees along and the stars. The trees were smirking and the stars were grimacing in fear. That's right, be scared. I'll jump up to you and I snapped my teeth, then let out a jubilant laugh, jumping up along with the fox. Wow, so many colors. We flew higher than the tallest pines and swayed in the air. I swear, Alisa followed my rhythm. I knew that she was smiling, so I smiled too. And the flute just kept on playing, carrying us higher and higher.
Ты чё, опять в облаках витаешь?
Hey, got your head in the clouds again? Not with you around, I thought, trying to unglue my chin from the desk. My muscles felt slightly sore, but that feeling was pleasant. The whole class was wondering about for some... What? The whole class was wondering about for some reason, whispering and passing notes to each other. Their faces looked like discolored masks to me, bleak and boring. I yawned, remembering the time I was soaring high above the forest with Alisa by my side, laughing and squeezing my hand. Probably it was just all a dream. But I didn't walk back from the forest. I just woke up in my bed on a normal morning with tea and medicine. Still, I was hardly worried about trying to find a rational explanation for my night dance. That feeling of flight was much more important. Oh, did someone else disappear? The knowledge of how it feels to be hanging in the air above the treetops of majestic pines and burying my teeth at the moon.
Ну чего?
What do you want?
Чё? Пока ты носом клевал, Катька пропала.
What do I want while you were nodding off here? Katya went missing. Katya? My sleepiness was gone in an instant. I frowned in suspicion.
Как пропал? Быть не может.
What do you mean? It can't be. Alright, end of the episode. What? I mean, look, hear me out. She was a piece of shit. Look, I said it. Now, okay, sure, we'll have to find her. What the hell? What if each kid, it's like the animals that I'm seeing, like the bear sounds a lot like the bully, like Babudin, the one that disappeared, right? The small one could be another one. What if Alisa is Katya or something? I don't know. Like, this is really weird. Oh my god, this game is really getting me. I love that when he puts on the mask and is having fun with them, the game actually gains colors and it gets more colorful the more he has it on. That is such a cool detail. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. I was expecting a longer episode, to be honest, but maybe each episode on the game is different. So we'll be here for the next episode together. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for waiting on an episode before. It took me so long to edit it and to film it. Hopefully this one comes out way faster. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comments on last video. And I hope to see you again on the next one. Have a nice day. Mwah. Hopefully I'll be not turned into a weird mask.